And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. Oh, yeah. We've got a lot of institutional movement going on. They're getting all set up. Don't care about the price. The only thing I care about is fundamental news. Who's doing what with whom, this and that. Cheap crypto. Let me scoop up some of that. And then when everything takes off, bam, zero to hero. That's how it works. Look, I was telling somebody before, be careful what you wish for because you might just get it. It's like everybody wants high prices. Other people are just getting in. They want cheap prices. With me, I like it nice and cheap right now because every month I'm whatever, little incentives I get, I go out and pick up a little bit. And I stopped buying crypto. I bought crypto when I started the show 5 years ago. And then about 4.5 years later, found Caleb and Brown. And that was maybe 8 months ago, something like that. So I'm kind of catching up. Do I want things to take off right now? Kind of yeah, kind of no. I'd like to get more crypto, and that one day it takes off. I got my crypto protected in Caleb and Brown, so that's the good part. It's in Fireblocks, just like the top 2,000 banks. There's cheap crypto now, so I'm accumulating. I have been for 8 months. Every month when I get a little bit of money or whatever it is, put that in and buy the good cryptos. I got some crypto on my phone and some software wallets. That's what I buy, sell, swap, and trade and gamble and stuff with. And then I got the law firm, the Crypto Hulk law firm. I'm waiting to hear from them. So all my crypto and some of my personal things that I have are going to go into a protected trust, and everything is going to be all good. So I'm kind of waiting. Like I want to get my law firm LLC all done first. I don't want a crypto to take off like right now. I need to get that shit fixed with the lawyer first. And then after that, then if it takes off, hey, at least I got all my crypto protected legally and such and such. So welcome back to the Crypto Hulk Show. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a crypto advisor, none of the above. I don't know anything about finances. I don't know anything about crypto. I don't even know why I've been making the show for 5 years. But I have. I don't deep dive nothing. Oh, dang. Digi. You reap what you sow. Thanks for sowing good seed, Hulk. Right on. Let me get you on that list. You sent me a message earlier. I read all messages. Let me put you. Let's see here. Hold on a minute. Taking care of a little business. Office time right now. All right. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't do any kind of research at all. I have Zoltar. And I got fat fingers like Stu Lavelle. So yeah, that's your disclaimer. This show is a complete train wreck. Don't watch it for financial advice or anything. Just watch it for entertainment if you find it entertaining at all. Before every show, 24/7 I stay high. Heroin, cocaine, barbiturates, methamphetamines, roofies, shrooms, peyote. I got everything. I grind it all up, make a milkshake, and drink it all, and eat it all, and inject it all. There you go. There's your financial advisor. Now, I've sent out, hey, some of you have paid, some of you have not. What I've done is sent out a memo to just generally most people. Here's some of the things. Some of you guys should have called me a lot earlier. Somebody's saying they're not getting notified till the next day or something like that. What I don't do is send out texts and then the next day, like 3 hours, or that same day, 3 hours later, send out the same. I don't do that. So I sent out all the texts at once. So if you get a text 3 or 4 hours later, that's your cell phone provider. You need to get that fixed because that's why you weren't getting the text on time. if you're getting these notifications the next day, that's your cell phone provider. So these are things you should have told me, like, about after the first week. If you're noticing you're getting texts 3 to 4 hours late and sometimes notified the next day, then that's not a CryptoHawk problem. That's a AT&T or whatever provider you have. That's a serious problem. Some of you guys, let's see. There's a guy who's a truck driver. He works 70 hours a week and he's having a hard time. Okay. Should have called me right away in the first week or two, but we're going to figure something out. Okay. I got some plans to, some of you all thought that you're going to have an ATM machine, which is CryptoHawk channel. No, it's not an ATM machine. I know it looks easy because some people like it takes some training. Like last week, I'm sure I pulled in, and this is when I sold 4 hours, 8 hours the next day on certain cryptos. I'm not pump dumping during the same show. Juno, good heavens. Hold on. I'm here. I'm here to help you, right? Okay. You need to contact me. If I don't get back to you, remember, there's all of you and one of me. Plus, I got to run and try to make 2 shows at the same time. You need to contact me and be persistent, even if it's every day. I have a phone list I try to get to. What I'm going to try to do is help, like the truck driver guy. We're going to figure out a way. Look, when you buy the crypto, on some of these, there'll be an initial dump, okay? And the reason is this. Let's say we find some 0.00 whatever crypto, okay? We have a really big market out there, and some of these people have already bought this crypto when it had 6 zeros. Think about this now. We got a lot of these cryptos where there's 3 zeros in front, 2 zeros. What's happening is people that bought that with 4, 5, 6 zeros. When you come in, the first 10 minutes, you'll notice, maybe 15, some people start dumping. A lot of that, I would say a vast majority of that is not you. It's people that's bought it when it was 4, 5, 6 zeros. Get it? So when the first purchase, when somebody comes in and dumps 100, 2, 3, 400 or something like that, into a crypto, they're then notified. You get it? People that were in 5 months ago, 6 months ago, bought this shit with 6, 7, 8 zeros, right? They get notified when you buy. So what you're doing, a lot of you, I know you are, you expect to put money in and 10 minutes later pull it out because you're trying 100%. I already know what you're trying to do. That shit's not going to work. This show's not an ATM machine. That's why you're getting your cheeks clapped, is because you're doing this thing where you put money in and 20 minutes later you want to pull it out. Not going to fucking happen. I keep telling you, it's not an ATM machine. I made, if I don't even include my last trade I did, $1,100, $1,000 last week, okay? I bought when everybody was buying. I didn't sell during the show. An hour, 2, 3 hours later. I sold anywhere from 4 to 8 to 12 hours later. You're not doing that. You're selling during the show. Somebody will dump and you get all fucking scared. It happens every single time. You don't learn your fucking lesson. I keep telling you, these cryptos have hit 136%, 240%. And what are you doing? You're selling 20 minutes after you buy the crypto. That's fucking stupid, and that's why you're not making any money. A lot of these cryptos, 8 to 10 hours later, they're peaking. Stop selling your crypto during the show thinking you're going to ATM machine it. Not going to happen. Some of you, yes, very, very few. Because again, the people that bought, if I have a crypto with 2 zeros, the people that bought it with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros, they're right there waiting for you to buy it. So what happens is people go buy the shit. They get notified. They bought this stuff 3 to 6 months ago, maybe a year ago when it's crypto. And then their alert, whatever they have, their bots or whatever, they sell off. But notice it's in the very beginning. And then later on, like here's where you sell. And then later on, let me put it up here. Later on, 8 hours later, it's up here like 200%. All the time it happens. You got people selling off at 30%. These are people that, again, got in before us. Let me write down these names. Okay, we got the R-Digi. We got the Juno. Juno, do you have it, Juno? Yes, Juno. Stu Lavelle. Oh, my God. Stu Lavelle. Whoo-wee. Stu Lavelle's been on this channel damn near, probably close to 5 years. I know he probably came in. Stu came in at what, the 6-month mark or the 3-month mark or somewhere in there. He's almost been on here like from definitely from the first semester I've been here. Stu Lavelle says, Hulk, Zoltar needs some love. Bring him to Pattaya. Oh my God. I'll fix him up with a beauty. I'll make sure he doesn't have what? He doesn't have peanuts. I'll look after him. Okay. One of these days, my goal is to go to Thailand for like a month. That would be awesome. So, all right, Steve Mariano, let me put you on this list. So if you're brand new, which here's some instructions. So you paid your a membership fee. You want to get in on the Crypto Hulk early notifications. Go to X, say, hi, Crypto Hulk. My name is Steve Mariani. Now, make sure you put your screen name, not Steve Mariani's screen name. I have to do that because some people will probably do it. Say, hi, Crypto Hulk. My name is Steve Mariano. I wanted to join the $500. Here's my donation. I donated on September 15th at 7:12 a.m. Pacific time. And here's a screenshot of my YouTube account showing that I paid that nobody else can see except me. And here's my American phone number that you can get a hold of me on. And I'll try to contact you as soon as I can. And we'll go over things. So I got some people that I contacted, not all yet, because I'm taking notes. I have a little callback list here. What I need you to do is contact me. Look, I got people that want to get into this little group, okay? And they're at all different levels. Some of them don't need help with anything. They just want me to notify them early on shit. They don't need any help with buying, selling, trading. They got all that. They just want the text. That's all they want. Okay. So I can't call you necessarily. I mean, I could, but it's like, you can call me, say, Crypto Hulk, I need help with such. Okay. That's what I'm here for. But what some of you guys do is don't say shit. You got guys trying to buy Seal Coin, spending, $50 to buy one, or I don't know what. I'm reading some text like, okay, look, you need to start calling me so you know what you're doing. Okay. If you're brand new, you need to, especially at first, be calling me, getting help. Because this, I'm explaining to some people call me and I'll break it all down to them. And then they go off and they're making money. They're pulling in. As beginners, maybe making $100 to $200 the first week. And as they get better, then it's 2, 3, 4 a week, generally, something like that. Maybe more. Depends. Like what I did is I bought when you guys bought last week just to see, because some people are like, oh, I'm not making any money. Because you're doing this shit all fucking wrong. whenever anybody kind of gets notified, and then there's maybe like a dump sometimes that happens 10, 15 minutes later, then the price is back to zero again. It's not up here or whatever, okay? But I bought when everybody bought, but I didn't sell when everybody sold. I'm selling. I'm working, so I'm obviously not selling it. I'm waiting till after the show to where it goes back up again, and then I sell off then. And I've made like 200 to 300 per trade each one, and I'm only putting in $300, and I'm pulling out 200. So now I got 5, but it's the 300 that I originally put in, pulling out 200 of profit. Maybe 6 to 8 hours later, bam, that's trade number 1. I got the list right here. ART, AART. I made $450 on that because I put the money in when everybody did, and I waited like, I don't know, 7, 8 hours later, and it went up 165%. Bam, that's $450. Some of you aren't listening, and you're trying to buy it and sell it within the same show. That's not going to happen, okay? That's why you keep getting fucked up. Next, there's a crypto called Volt. It might have been a meme coin or something. I don't fucking care. I put 300 in, waited about 4 hours, 5 hours later, sold it, made $150. So now I'm up at $600 in 2 trades. This is profit. I put 300 in, pulled out what I sold it off at whatever it was, 4 or 5 hours later, 6, 7 hours later, I made 150 profit. So right there, out of 2 trades, one day and then the next day, $600. You can't do that shit? Is that fucking hard to do? Next, Energy Web. I made $300 on that. Put 300 in. That shit went up crazy. About 8 hours later, sold it off. I don't sell during the show. I mean, sometimes it goes up crazy stupid, like 22x or something, yeah. But I'm showing you, I'm making the money. Then the SCOP, SCOP. I put in $300. I think that went up 165 or something percent. I made 300 profit. So what are we looking at here? $1,200 this week. It's not that fucking hard. It's because you're doing dumb shit. You're selling off way too early. And you'll learn. Eventually you'll learn. So that is going to be like the most, I'm just doing all these cryptos. If you look at them on a deck screener, 6 to 8 to 12 hours later, they're all up 165%. And even if you bought when it was more expensive, they fucking go up more than what during the show. These cryptos always go up way more after the show. And that's for show. So you're doing your shit all wrong. And then we got some people buying these small cap cryptos. Look, you need to call me up daily to get your answers, okay? Because like this shit's too easy. I invested in these 4 on purpose to show if you just quit treating this program like an ATM machine, I just made $1,200 right there. Now, one of the trades I put in a good chunk of money, so let's drop it down. Let's not include that one. Let's include everything that I only invested $200 or $300 in. Then we can take my profits down to about, I'll say $900 to $1,000 this week. If you one of these trades, I put in a good amount of money, but I made 30% off it. Okay, but let's exclude that one. If I put in $200 or $300, which I did, sold all of them at least 4 to 5 hours to 24 hours later, I made $900 to $1,000 on just those, and those are only putting in $200 to $300 and selling well after the show. Okay. So you guys aren't doing that. I can already tell. So when I go to call you later, I already know that's what you did. You waited there. You saw somebody dump. Oh shit. And you started selling, or you sold an hour later, 2 hours. I wasn't selling any earlier than probably 4 to 5 hours was the earliest one. The other ones were after 5, like 6, 7, 10 hours, 12 hours later, 13 hours later. That's where I was selling at. So I know when I go to call these people, that's what I'm going to hear. All you were selling them during the program because there's no fucking way. I easily cleared $900 to $1,000 for profit last week. That's from right now. And let's back it up 6 days. Just in these past 6 days, I easily made $900. Just doing what I told you. Too fucking easy. Buying it, just holding that shit. It's going to dump in about 15, 20 minutes. Then after when the show's on, then after that, boom, starts going up. Some people will dump it, but then after 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, it shits up at 100. Now, this is with the good crypto. It's how it always does. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, so like Mr. OG says, never forward what you can, never invest more than you can afford to lose. See, what you do is you panic buy and sell. Some of you put in a whole lot of money, and you're panicky, and then you got to sell it within, like, when it hits 40% profit or whatever, you're selling off so you can make the money back. But you'll never hit those thousands and thousands of dollars per week that you want because you're selling it off at 40, 50%. When that crypto, instead of stopping, let's say at 5 cents, it might hit 25 cents. You could have 4, 5, 6 extra money, but you sold off at 40%. And you're not, so that's why you're not making money as much as you want. You'll make that little bit of money, but you'll never hit that 5x, 6x because you're selling off at 40%. You'll put in $2,000, 3,000. I heard some of you guys putting in $4,000. And the minute it makes, man, you could have made 12 or 15 grand on one trade, but you're selling off at 40%. So keep going for the little stuff. That's what you're going to get, little stuff. Mr. Blue, member for 28 months. Okay, Steve Mariano says GP US seems to be coming back. Okay, look. Let's go over that one. This is like an investing show, more like now. The GP US, it never left. It's not coming back. It never left. Wait, hold on. We got Mark Sinclair. I'm just here for the fatties. The fatties? Okay. We can deal with that. Mark Sinclair is back on again. Now, for people that are brand new, again, contact me. If you just got on the show, if you're brand new to the channel, if you just came in now, contact me at X at CryptoHulk19. All one word. The C is capital, the H is capital, the other letters are lowercase. Hi, CryptoHulk. My name is Stu Lavelle. I saw you on YouTube. I joined. It was 7:22 a.m. Pacific time. Here's my phone number, my American phone number, because I'm not calling overseas. And I'll hook you up. We'll go over everything, okay? But you guys got to let me know early so I can assist you. Almost every single person, I'd say 9 out of 10, when they call me, they're like, oh, dude, I was doing all the wrong shit. I'm like, just let me know earlier next time, all right? Because they were doing everything fucking wrong. They somehow saw people making money on this channel. They assumed they could, which was wrong. Because these other people are good. They know what they're doing. So that's what I'm here for. After I told you guys the different little things to look out for and everything, then the one guy's like, man, I'm making it now. I said, okay, you just needed to call so I could show you what wrong stuff you were doing. And I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. It's just, you're going to tell me how you're buying and what your thought pattern stuff is. And we're going to discuss it, and we're going to find a better way. That's all that it is. Because if you're doing the same thing over and over and you're still losing, that's not it. Okay? Not it. So I'm here. Like, if you make money, then I'm making money. And if you're not, then I'm not, right? So it behooves me to help you figure out and identify, okay, what are we doing wrong here, and how are we going to fix this thing? And I have a feeling already, I know half your problem. I know 50% of your problem probably already, maybe even 70. And if we can get that, that means you'll make 50 to 70% more. So, Let's look. There's like huge news. Let me start here. March. It's hard to record. Okay, right here. Chainlink. This is massive. Copy. Now we're going to get into fundamental news because there's going to be some cryptos later that come out of this. Chainlink, UBS. Now, Chainlink is a Ripple partner. Joins up with UBS, Ripple partner. There's a company called DigiFT, and they launch in Hong Kong, where Hong Kong, they have Ripple Hong Kong. I want you to see all this. And they're launching a pilot for automated tokenization fund. Now, everybody, all the giants, they're all getting ready. You're seeing it right here. You're getting cryptocurrency companies hooking up with governments and launching crypto tokenized funds. They're getting it. It's a pilot, so they're working on it now. The companies say the pilot will test a blockchain infrastructure. Oh, really? I want you to hear this now. Listen to the words. They're going to test a blockchain infrastructure. Now, I wonder what blockchain that would be, Crypto Hulk. Yeah, I couldn't tell you because Chainlink's a Ripple partner. UBS is a Ripple partner. There's something called Hong Kong, the country of Hong Kong. They're also a Ripple partner. I have no idea what blockchain they're going to test. I have no idea. They're going to have distribution, settlement, and management of tokenized products in Hong Kong. This is amazing. Chainlink, a blockchain Oracle provider and a Ripple partner. And there's a bank called UBS, which is a Ripple partner. They have $5.9 trillion asset manager. You guys, I don't know if you're aware of this. BlackRock is the biggest asset manager in the entire world with like 12 or 13 trillion. This company is half this little business deal, this little shindig they got going, this little soiree they got going is half the size of BlackRock. Oh, shit. I'm telling you what, the big dogs are getting all set up, okay? These are like the German Shepherds or I don't know. It's like a 300-pound pit bull, okay? They're partnering with Ripple Partners, Chainlink, and UBS Bank. They're working with DigiFT for a pilot study to automate real-world tokenization funds. Oh, my God. It's getting all set up, everybody. I don't care what the fucking price. So here's what the dumb shit say. Oh, but the prices aren't going up. Ha, 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 ha. You got the shit, crypto. I'm just like, you got the shit for brains from your fucking hooker mother. That's what happened to you. And your father, you don't even have one. It's called a sperm donator, and it was probably a fucking donkey. This feature could eliminate manual error. So it's going to be automated pilot. They're going to automate this, AI and shit. And I'll tell you what, computers are going to take over the world. I don't know what. They'll need us for slaves, right? Doesn't that make sense? We're going to all be slaves. The computers will run shit. Like we'll go out to the farm fields and the computers will say, you need to start working more. Or we will deduct a portion of your food for the end of the day. And we will take your bastard children. This is how I see it. I've been telling you this since I started Crypto Hulk Show. All this crypto, in the end, will make us slaves. You'll be rich in the beginning and this and that until they figure out how to take your money. According to the announcement, the three groups are developing a regulated blockchain-based infrastructure. You know what? Can you think of a crypto that's involved with banks and payments. No, I can't, Crypto Hulk. I have no idea. And one that is heavily involved with the regulators.
Would that be Ripple?
Yeah, that would, Jimmy. The new kid answers the question. I'm telling you what, if you can't see what's going on now, the study is part of Hong Kong's Cyberport blockchain and digital asset pilot subsidy scheme. Well, that's a big fucking chunk of words right there. Hong Kong Cyberport blockchain and digital asset pilot subsidy scheme. Like, say that 3 times and I'll give you $100. It's a sandbox test. So this is a sandbox. Let me tell you what, anytime they're not going to fail. I've been in crypto 5 years. I've not once seen any kind of these sandboxes fail because they've already done them and it's succeeded. Let's continue. This is all like a dog and pony show, as they call it. The study is part of Hong Kong's, I'm not saying that again. According to the project's workflow, investors first submit subscription or redemption requests for UBS tokenized products through DigiFT smart contracts. Those instructions are then processed by Chainlink's digital transfer agent, which act as the infrastructure layer to verify the orders and record them directly on chain. We have got AI doing the work of people, everybody. All this stuff's going to be automatic. This is amazing. Once processed, the orders trigger the corresponding issuance, redemption, and other life cycle events on UBS Ripple Partner, their tokenized product contracts. It's a framework developed in, of course, Switzerland. Everything happens out of Switzerland. That's where all the power in the world, that's where all the top 5 families of the world control shit out of that particular city. I'm not saying they live there. They control the world out of Switzerland's like the little bitch of all the rich families of the world, okay? And then we're all the little slave, the minion slaves. Unlike mainland China, Hong Kong has a clear regulatory framework for crypto. However, Hong Kong is still subject to China's rules. Yes, like I've been telling you for 5 years, China runs all the shit, and all these other companies, they'll take these companies, countries, they'll take off with the crypto, and China wants to see where shit fails. They're going to let Vietnam, Indonesia, all these little countries do their thing with the crypto. China's going to sit back and just wait and see if anybody gets hacked, this and that. Meanwhile, China's working on their own. They're already partners with Ripple. I've already shown you this. No other channel has shown you all the Ripple China, none of that stuff. They're all, Indonesia's already hooked up. Thailand's hooked up. Siam Commercial Bank, Ripple Partner. They're all, I don't know what's taking so long. Maybe we got to hook up Africa. That's probably it right there. And some of these other countries, I don't know. But when the time's right, look, I can't predict times. That's foolish to think so. What I can do is show you what's going on. I don't know everything that's going on. We know enough. You know enough if you watch this channel to see shit going down. We don't have exact dates and times. You don't need that. I'm showing you all the evidence you need to know, and to where you can go out, and if you decide you want certain cryptos that we talk about in this program, that's up to you. I'm just showing you news that happens and showing you what cryptos are doing what. Now, if you want to buy those things, that's up to you. My job is to show you. I can't tell you what to do. I mean, I can tell you what I do and stuff. But you all are adults here, unless you need your own parents' supervision at 45 years old, some of you. But this article is straight up real world asset tokenization is what we're talking about right here. Now, here's some evidence right here. Ripple partners with Chainlink. This happened in January of this year. I want you to see something. Look at this evidence right here. What is this article right here? Notice in January of this year, Ripple partners with Chainlink. In September of this year, now Chainlink's joining UBS Bank and basically China and tokenizing. Think Ripple doesn't have anything to do with that? That's how Chainlink is interoperable. Nobody's going to do shit until they're Ripple partners. Then, like with Chipper Cash in Africa, right? Chipper Cash in March joins Ripple. And then in September, then they announce, oh, we're going to run the Lightning Network so you can move Bitcoin in 2 to 5 seconds. Notice they did that after they joined Ripple because they're putting the Lightning Network on top of the XRP ledger. Here you got the same fucking thing going on. I want you to watch. It's all copycat stuff. In January, Ripple hooks up with Chainlink, okay? Now Chainlink is interoperable. So from January to September right now Chainlink joins up with UBS in China, and they have this automated tokenizing fund. All of a sudden now, right? I want you to see the patterns, everybody. A company will go join Ripple, and then they'll leave Ripple and go start this. Another company, another bank, whatever it is, another group of companies come over, join Ripple, go off, and then they start this fund. Are you seeing this? These are all patterns. This is not brand new shit. I'm showing you pattern after pattern. And watch, tomorrow, the next day, there's going to be some other company that 8 months ago joined up with Ripple, and now they're launching this fund or that fund. This is what we're seeing right here. I don't care that the price isn't going up. I want it cheap so I can buy crypto. Whatever you want, I don't give a fuck. Now, once I get enough crypto, then yeah. So people are like, the crypto prices aren't going up. Yeah, exactly. Great. Because I'm buying shit for really cheap right now. Okay, that's what I want. Yeah, the London Bridge is in a city called Lake Havasu City, Arizona. The London Bridge, McCulloch, the guy that owns a chainsaw factory, he has a factory in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and he bought the bridge there. McCulloch basically in the 70s put together what we know as Lake Havasu City, Arizona, the city today. There's a little history lesson. Random fact, Crypto Hulk, how the fuck do you know all that shit? Do you have a super lightning fast grok or something like that? Is that a trick question? I don't know what year in the 70s, like early 70s, 71, 74. But McCulloch, the chainsaw manufacturer guy, he brought the London Bridge over brick by brick, and then they put it back together again in the middle of the desert. And yeah, I've driven over it and I've seen it, stuff like that. It's kind of neat. It's kind of weird to have like London Bridge is falling down, and you have that in Lake Havasu, a desert where there's no ocean. And Lake Havasu is technically not a lake; it's a river, the Colorado River, but they kind of dammed it up at a couple points and made it a lake. But anyhow, that's a long story. Let's not talk about that. So we know that Chainlink is doing its thug thizzle. Now let's look right here. We've got Ripple Hong Kong. Here's your next. I'm showing you all these Ripple connections. There ain't shit gonna happen. Look, Ripple can't do everything, but what does Ripple do? It provides the interoperability. You see that? Okay. Chainlink's the oracle. Great. What does Ripple do? Interoperability layer to allow Chainlink to do what it does. It allows it to do what it do. Now, I just sent you a Hong Kong proof. Go to the 31-second mark. 31-second mark. And you'll see Ripple Hong Kong, copyright 2014. Largest Ripple gateway in Hong Kong. Everybody, this has all been fixed. All this shit's been done 11 years ago. Okay? Ripple set out all this framework, all the roads, the bridges, the tunnels. Ripple built the airports, the buildings, the electrical wires. Ripple built it all. Now what's happening is companies like Chainlink are deciding to get on board, get on top of the layer of Ripple. All these cryptos are doing this now. Chipper Cash, all of them. Now, what I can't show you here is I have a Ripple customer list. I made a little video and I showed you yesterday. I'm looking at the Ripple customer list. I showed you Ripple Hong Kong. It was November 19th, 2014. Ripple customer list. I showed you 2 wallet addresses, okay? Now, what's really interesting is I did research. I looked up that Ripple wallet address from 2014, and I showed you on the video what we got. Here's what we got. The wallet address is RGBTXAYFF. Okay, this Ripple, it's called, the name on this wallet, somebody named it back in 2014, and it was named Ripple HK Hot. So it's a Ripple Hot wallet, okay? Finally, that wallet sit dormant since, okay, we'll say 2016. Okay, but even though we have proof that in 2014 or earlier, there was something called Ripple Hong Kong, okay? And these people, along with Ripple, were help making the framework we're talking about right now. All the roads, bridges, buildings, power lines, tunnels, and all that shit. All the ferries, you know, the kind that go across the water, not the kind in San Francisco, but they were building all these things like this, right? So what we have right here is August 3rd, 2022. They had a trust. There was a trust issued, and it was on this wallet, and it was labeled Ask Us Panda 21. ASAKUS a Panda 21. That was in 2022. So let's assume that, let's just say that wallet started in 2016. It sat dormant until right about COVID was really going strong about 2022. I mean, the devastation of the country and the world and stuff was finally starting to hit. It took them 6 years before they even put a trust line out on that wallet. So we know that wallet is that was 3 years ago. So they waited 4 to 6 years before they made a trust. They issued a trust on it. It's called a trust set. A trust set. It was installed on this wallet, which I showed you on my short video. And it took about 4 to 6 years after that wallet was made before they did a trust set on it. And it's called Ripple Hong Kong. So there you have it. Let me check the comments here real quick. Bridge to the old monetary system. The bridge to the old monetary system is falling down, my dear Hulksters. Oh, shit. Rob drops. Hoo-wee. Good heavens. Member, he wants to keep that membership going. Rob, 78, 79. So I was talking to, I think me and Rob talked for about 20 minutes yesterday, or then there's another guy, I won't mention his name. We discussed stuff for about 20 minutes yesterday. I think he was asking me 20 questions. I'm pretty sure he asked me 20 questions. This guy keeps notes. He has to. I was very impressed. He's like, oh, Crypto Hub, hold on. I got 2 more questions for you. Okay, what are those? Then I answer those 2 questions. Okay, well, all right, I got one last question. And then he's like, okay, just what last thing? I got 2 more. And I'm like, well, dude, wait a second. You just told me 2 seconds, 2 questions, but it's okay. He's paying, so I want to make sure he gets all the information he has so he can make smart decisions. That's the goal. Some people just have trading questions. Some people, each person has their own deal. Crypto Hulk, look over my cryptos and tell me which ones you have and what. I mean, some people just want that. Maybe they got all the trading shit down. They know how to buy and sell and when to push the button and all that. They just need better help choosing which cryptos to keep and which ones to cut loose. I get some people like, I got 50 cryptos. Crypto Hulk, help me whittle it down to 30. What 20 would you take off my list? I mean, everybody has, I can't tell you, everybody has different needs for information. Rebooted. XRP Shaman's about to get rebooted. Stu Lavelle says, don't nut, Mr. OG. Wait for Stella. Oh, my God. A reprogramming show. I can't wait to ask you questions. I'm going to be that guy with 20. Yeah, I felt like I was in a federal investigation. This guy kept, no, Crypto Hulk, I got this other question here. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I felt like I was in an inquisition. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Let me click out of that. Wait, R3. Okay. I got a good one here. Hold on a minute. Oh, that's... Hold on. Oh, this one's good. This one is good right here. UBS Bank. We just got done talking about UBS, how they're hooked up with Ripple and then Chainlink, which is a Ripple partner. Look what we got here. Swiss. This article is dated September 13th, 2025. Swiss banking giant UBS eyes a move to the United States to avoid pesky new regulations. Now, this article is out of the New York Post. We're talking about a banking giant. What did we say they had? Like $7 trillion in assets or something like that. They're holding for people and managing. They're working with Chainlink and this other company, Digi, whatever it is, in Hong Kong. Banking giant, here we go, and Ripple partner, UBS is ramping up its threats to leave Switzerland and set up shop in the United States. A radical response to Swiss regulators who have proposed onerous new capital requirements. What the Swiss government's doing is it's trying to force UBS Bank to hold a ton of money in case of an emergency. Now, the bank doesn't want to do this, of course, because the bank doesn't want to, like, look, here's what the bank wants. It wants to get, for every dollar that you put in, the bank wants to loan out like 95 cents. So it only keeps 5 cents in. So the bank keeps making money and doing all these things and paying the shareholders. And then one day when the music stops playing, there's no money in the bank to give anybody. So the bank collapses. The bank president guys, they're making, $10 million a year and shit. The Swiss government wants them to keep like a lot of money in the bank. 26 billion. So you know what happens? If a disaster were to hit, that $26 billion, that bank has $26 billion sitting locked up, nobody can touch, not earning money. And when a disaster happens, guess what? The bank loses it all anyway, right? That's right, crypto. See what's going on? So I'm not saying this is bad or good, but if I have a bank and I got $26 billion and I could invest all that and make trillions, or should I? Nope. I'm going to lock that money up, not earn interest, just let it sit so nobody can touch it. And then when a disaster happens, I lose all that $26 billion. Like, are you fucking high? So that's why the bank doesn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do it either. So this bank's been around 162 years, and it's thinking about just moving to America. The UBS Bank has already met with the Trump administration. You know, the Swiss are getting really, really nervous right now. The Swiss, because you know what's going to happen. Somebody tell me what's going to happen. If UBS worth 6 or 7 trillion in assets of customer holdings, if UBS decides to pack up and say, fuck this, we're going to America where it's a lot easier. Tell me what's going to happen next. Somebody. Anybody. Is anybody watching the show? Is there anybody here? Or is it just me talking? Ripple takeover. Well, I'm ready to give you the answer. Somebody, please help me. Help me. Stampede. There you go. Ben Kahn. Ben, you saved the day. There's going to be a stampede out of Switzerland. That's exactly what's going to happen. And guess what also might happen? Other countries, their crypto companies might move out and go to America. Oh, we're going to make America great again. Make America great again. More will move over. Yes. They will all come to America. So we'll see. Just like the Eddie Murphy movie, Coming to America. So that is what I saw. We're going to see what happens. You know, in the meantime, UBS executives are drawing up plans to move their headquarters from Zurich, Switzerland to the US of A, where they hope to attract a more lenient government. Well, they will with Trump. Now, if Trump can't run anymore, so if the next president is a communist like the last one we had, it's going to be all bad for crypto. So I don't know, everybody, what's going to happen. I can only tell you about what's happening right now. So that's UBS. Now let's take it back to 2015. Let's take it back 10 years ago, everybody. When Ripple and UBS became partners 10 years ago. Daphne M., welcome to the entry-level membership program. Here's the article right here. Let me read the title. This is still on the Ripple page. 7 leading banks join Ripple's global network, June 22nd, 2016. If we look here at the third paragraph, Santander, UniCredit, UBS, right there. So they became Ripple partners 10 years ago. Oh, now look here. We have another partnership, and it's related to this. This news is about a year old, but I want you to see how it all connects. You are welcome, Daphne. Look right here. Ripple joins UBS. Here we go again. This is April 12th of 2024. Ripple joins UBS and Six Group as one of Tenity Global strategic partners. What is the Six Group? That is like the Six Stock Exchange. Let me show you right here. So Ripple joins UBS and Six. And you want to know why? Because here's the evidence right here. Because in 2019, only like 6 years ago, the Swiss stock exchange, it's called Six Group, Six. It uses R3 Corda for trading. What? This is the world's first stock exchange to run on cryptocurrency technology. It's in Switzerland. It's called SIX. They're using the R3. They're using R3 and the Corda platform. And here you have XDC. Let's take a little look at that proof right there. Here's the next crypto we're talking about, XDC. Every stock exchange will run on XDC. Here's your proof right here. What's the title? R3 Corda network set to go DeFi with XDC digital currency. When did this article come out, Crypto Hulk? 2023. Just about 2 years ago. What you're seeing right now, the SIX digital crypto exchange, it's not crypto, it's a SIX stock exchange running on R3 with the Corda platform, utilizing XDC cryptocurrency. You've got Ripple mixed up in this because you got these Swiss stock exchanges to use R3 Corda, because Ripple joins UBS and SIX. So Ripple's integrated, the XRP is integrated in with the XDC. They're using it already. All this is already done. The reason these cryptos are not super sky high in price, that's a good thing. You're able to get these cryptos. XDC is what, 8 cents right now? Imagine when this shit's like $5, $20, $1,000. Let me show you how deep this gets with XDC. Here's something I showed you last time, brand new people. This next one I'm going to show you is massively important. Look right here. The DTCC. This is called the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation. It clears, okay, the DTCC is a private, permissioned DLT platform. It was developed in collaboration with Barclays, Ripple Partner, BNY Mellon, Ripple Partner, Citibank, Credit Suisse, Ripple Partner, Fidelity, massive Ripple Partner, world's biggest payment processor, Goldman Sachs, early Ripple Partner, JP Morgan uses Ripple technology in the Al Farhad exchange in the Middle East. So Ripple Partner. Robinhood's a partner of this. State Street is a partner of this. They're using R3 Corda. It says here the DTCC has selected R3 Corda. What is this? The DTCC is the premier post-trade market infrastructure. Basically, when you make a trade on a stock market, it all goes through the DTCC first, and then you get your stock. Okay, that's how this works. This is global. 20 countries. 20 of the world's biggest countries are a member of this DTCC. It stabilizes the World Trade Center. Okay. Instead of, it's all 20 of these countries have their stock markets linked up together, so it doesn't go all crazy. One country goes up, one country goes bankrupt. No, all trades go through the DTCC. They want global stability. They want to make sure you don't have drug dealers buying all this stuff and everything's KYC'd and all that. That's what the DTCC is. They're running on R3 Corda. That's the XDC crypto. So if you're brand new, you might want to consider XDC. Let me click out of that one. Chainlink, we got that one. Got that one. One Swiss Stock Exchange. I got that one. Okay, we are right out of time. Let me check the last minute comments. So what was her previous name? Hopefully. Semi-soluble XDC, crypto banana. If you can, you should have at least 100,000 XDC. All right. I think that'll do it for the morning show. All right. That'll wrap it up for this morning. I still got some articles I could use for the PM show. More than likely, I'm going to have a PM show. So I'll see you all. What time? We got about 8 o'clock, like 9 hours. Somewhere around there, about 9 hours from now. I got to put the show together. I'm going to try to get a PM show put together. So I'll see you then.